Hello, welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. I know we're an hour earlier tonight. I have a Stampin' Up meeting that oops, looks like maybe it just started. Hey, welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. It's Tuesday at 6 o'clock. I needed to do it an hour early tonight because I have a meeting that I need to zoom in on at 7 tonight. So I want to share with you one of the new stamp sets in our mini that just went live the 1st of January. And it's this sweet ice cream stamp set. And it comes with a punch. And the punch works for the ice cream and then for the cone, which is really fun, I think. So I got this idea from Julie Spearman. She is a fellow demonstrator, and we had a team meeting or not team, Kansas City demonstrators meeting on Saturday, and she shared this layout, and I thought it was just really fun. So I'm borrowing it tonight. So let me show you her card first. She used the art gallery. All right, I'm gonna try this. Maybe that'll work. Okay, she used this fun fold here so that it opens like that. And it is so much easier than I thought. So I'm really excited. Hey, Julie, thanks for joining me. And wow, it looks familiar, doesn't it? Thank you so much for showing me how to make this. So let's get started. I'm going to use some Granny Apple Green cardstock. And I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4 so that it's 4 1/4 by 11. And then I'm going to score it at 5 1/2 so that it would make my normal card. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it over so that the score that I just created is on the 2-inch mark. And what I really like about this paper cutter is our lines, our numbers and stuff are down here as well, so that I can see my 2-inch. And then I'm just going to cut that off right there. So it creates this piece. And I want a section off of this. So I'm going to put it back in and I'm going to cut it at 2. So we've got one piece that we won't need and then this piece here. So Julie used the art gallery stamp set, which is going to be my project or my product class for February. So you'll be seeing a lot of samples from that. But I wanted to play with the ice cream tonight. So I'm going to start, that shadow. Let's see, maybe that'll work. Not quite sure. I guess maybe because it keeps getting darker outside, I keep having more shadows. All right, so I'm going to stamp my cone, and I'm using the cinnamon cider, which I think is the perfect color for our cones. See if I can get this the right way so that it's easy to punch out. And I usually like to do 2 just so in case I have issues, I've got a second one. And I like in this set that it has a stamp here that gives us kind of that same image that we get on an ice cream cone. Stampin' Up thinks of everything. All right, now we're going to take the punch. I'm going to slide it in. I don't think I hardly ever use a punch where it's not upside down. If you use it this way, you can see what you're punching. You can line it up. You don't waste paper. And to me, it's just the smart way to use it. Now, I've got some of my ladies that if they don't want to hold it, because punches are a little heavy, you can lay it on the table. And then once you get it where you want it, hold it, kind of push it down just a little bit to make sure you have it where you want it. And then you can push down too. So if you don't want to hang on to it. So that's our cone. And now for the fun part, the ice cream. So when I started thinking about the different colors of ice cream, one of the things that came to mind was mint chocolate chip. And that makes me think of one of my good friends because Carrie loved mint chocolate chip ice cream. Every time we go to the ice cream shop, that's what she had. So I'm going to use some Granny Apple Green. Guess I probably could have used maybe a lighter green, but I just love this bright color. So I'm going to ink it up. You do know that you should always walk around the ink pad because everyone's natural tendency is to ink right in the middle of the ink pad. Well, when you do that and everybody does the same thing, then you get that middle part gets dry really quickly. So I always tell everyone, give the stamp a tour of the ink pad and work your way around. So we're going to line it up in our punch again. I am going to use this in a product class. And one of the things they showed us on Saturday is that you can turn this into a teddy bear, a little bear. So I can't wait to try that. All right, so now we're going to do one more here. And I think I'll do yellow this time. I'm going to use Bumblebee. I was amazed in this stamp. Oh, don't let me forget to show you the designer series paper in this. It is beautiful in so many different colors, so many options. So more than likely you have some of that paper on hand in some of the colors because there are a lot of different colors. I'm going to use Bumblebee for this one. All right. I like how they don't want it to be a solid image. They're going to give it that look of real ice cream because real ice cream always has a kind of variegated look with all the different parts of your ice cream. And I stamped that backwards after trying to be so careful. Let's see if I can slide it in there. One thing, I don't remember who taught me, so I apologize if you're the one and I've forgotten it was you, is to take a Post-it note because then you can hang on to your paper, slide it in, line it up. And oh, this one's going to be my bottom layer, so I'm not going to worry about putting sprinkles on it, but of course you could if you wanted to. All right, so now we're going to go, so for the card, I'm using the stitched nested labels dies. I'm using this one here. And you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7 of them. 8 of them. There's 8 plus this other piece. So 8 different ones. So you get a lot with that grouping. And what I did is I just cut one out here. I like it because it's got that stitched edge and it just adds just a little something extra to your cardstock instead of just a piece of white paper. That shadow is really bothering me. I'm going to have to figure that out for next week. All right. I'm going to glue my ice cream cone down. Found a bunch of old glue and it's just really stubborn to get started. All right, so we're going to put that here. I'll line this up to make sure I get it straight. Like that. Now I could have stamped that one directly on. And I just kind of wanted just a little bit of depth to it, so I didn't. So for this one, I want a little more depth. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. Hey, Chris. Oh, Marie's there. Oh my gosh. Marie, it is so great to hear that you're online. I have missed you guys so much. For those of you that don't know, Chris and Marie live in Oklahoma, and this COVID has done us in. I haven't gotten to see them since I think last January. All right, so what I did is I took my dimensionals and I put them on here. So I'm going to line this up with just one like that. So now I want just a little more height. So there's 2 options. We can use these strips that Stampin' Up! Has that are fabulous for if you're making shakers because you don't have to worry about pieces getting lost. We can use this, or you could take, if you don't have this, you could do your dimensionals and just double stack them. All right, and like our dimensionals, the strips have both sides. All right, so then we're going, I'm gonna need just a little bit more, I think. All right, so we'll put that on there. And there we go. That ice cream cone is nice and high. All right, so now we're gonna go back to our card base. And this is the base. And remember, we scored it at 2 and then cut the rest, scored it at 5.5 and then took the score line to 2 and then cut this piece off. So this is 2 inches here. So I pulled some of the designer series paper. I guess this would be a good time to show you the paper. So there are 12 sheets in here. There's, see if I can get it back far enough. All these fun ice cream cones. And on the back side is like the bottom of your cone, like a cone. This one here with the Blackberry Bliss stripes. Then we have this one that is the popsicles with stripes. This one here, which is like a Bermuda Bay, the Granny Apple Green, and I think that's kind of a cool party. And this is Old Olive on that side. So this might be a mix of Old Olive and the Granny Apple Green. Like I said, there's so many colors in this one. And then this one here is your reds and your yellow with kind of a wavy pattern. And then I think there's one more. Oh, I showed it to you. The other set of ice cream cones. All right. So I chose to use this pattern here. And I wanted it to kind of show that the patterns continued. So I want to match up with, let's see if I can find how this matched up. Here we go. Nope. I promise this did. There we go. So see, that way it's a continuous pattern. Just another little thing to give that's pleasing to the eye. So we're going to put the top piece on the top here. All right. What's nice about this is it's a fun fold, but it doesn't require any extra paper because you're using just like you would use for a normal card. So we're going to go back and grab the 2-inch piece that I cut off and put the other piece of designer series paper on it. Need to be thinking about ice cream tonight and cold because I just saw that we're supposed to get more snow again. It seems like we've kind of been in a repeat pattern, not a whole bunch of snow, just enough to remind us it's winter. All right, and then here's my piece for the inside. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that because I always tell everybody don't glue down. You want to stamp first so you can flip it over. So I'm going to take the white and I'm going to lay it inside here. This is 4 by 5 1/4, so that you just have that small edge all the way around. And this piece we're going to lay right here. Then I'm going to lay, there it is, this right here, so that I know this is the little spot I want to fill. Now this stamp set has a really cool happy birthday, but for this layout, it's just too big, which I was really sad. And when I show you the other samples, you're going to see that greeting that I thought was really cute. All right. And again, the reason I'm not gluing any of this down is because if I mess up, I want to be able to flip it over. And I would hate to admit how often I have to do that because I don't do it right the first time. Hey, Paula, thanks for joining me. You guys are so nice to join me when it's an hour earlier tonight. All right, so there's my, ooh, see there my H is kind of funky. So let's flip it over and we'll try again. You know, I had the same thing happen when I made my first sample. That H and I just are not getting along. All right. There we go. All right, so there's my happy birthday. This happy birthday is from the art gallery stamp set. Like I said, I'll be highlighting it probably next week. I'll show you a bunch of those cards. We used it for that demonstrator meeting and I saw so many cool ideas. I'm anxious to share that with you. All right, so we're going to glue this down. When Julie showed me this card, I thought, oh, that's going to be hard to make. And then when she showed me how easy it was, I was like, oh, this is so cool. All right, now I have seen some people that, like, if they were going to do this card, they'd put a window sheet here and attach it, but then that starts making the front of your card pretty heavy. So I am not going to do that. I'm going to just keep it open. So there's my cone. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take dimensionals and I'm going to grab, I used the small ones the first time I tried this, but I think I want to give it a try with the bigger ones. If put my hands on real quick here. So I'm going to put a couple here at the top and a couple at the bottom. And you're just going to lay this piece right at the bottom. So you have this right where you want it. And I'm going to pull my dimensionals off, or the paper off the dimensionals, I guess I should say. Turn this over. And then you're just going to lay this here, and the dimensionals are going to hold everything in place. And there you go. Isn't that fun? Hey, Melinda, thank you. I'm glad you like it. So there's my ice cream cone, super simple. When you open it up, then I would probably, well, I'll show you what I would do here. Get those out of the way. You guys ever do that? You get your card all done, you flip it open like that, and then you drop it right in the ink and you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Yeah, I do that way too often. All right, so I guess I didn't show you this in the set. There's these dots. These are the sprinkles that I put on the ice cream cone. And there's these dots. So I'm going to use these dots to decorate on the inside. One of the things I think is really fun with this is they even gave you little drops so that if you wanted to make it like the ice cream's melting on a hot summer day, you can do that. And I'll show you, I used that on one of the other cards I made. So let's see, I think I'll do that one. And I'll do the yellow. I'm going to do the dots again, turn them at just a little bit different angle so that it doesn't look like they were lined up directly. And there we go, just a little bit of something. And then you'd have some room to write their name and then your greeting down here. So that's with Granny Apple Green. The first one I made, I chose to use Bermuda Bay. So it looks like this. And on this one, I chose to put the ice cream cone on the inside, but I made the mistake of doing my cone a little too close. So I did have to stamp this and pop it out or punch it out. And I realized it is a little high. You can just peek it over here on the edge. So if you use this layout, you might keep that in mind. But isn't that fun? All right, so I've had a lot of fun with the ice cream set. So let me show you two more cards that I've made. This was the first one I did. And you see this happy birthday? Isn't that neat? I really like that. It's very, really nice script, easy to read. So I can tell, I know I'm going to use that a lot. So on this one, I did the happy birthday and I just randomly did it. I did at first try to use it on the Stamparatus, but it's so long, it didn't work quite right with the size of my paper. So I did just randomly stamp that. And then I wanted my ice cream to look shiny. So I added some, sorry, hey Lois, just saw your note. Glad you joined. Well, if I'd have done it at 7, I bet you'd have been on time. But I'm always changing my schedule. Sorry, guys. So what I did is I took some Crystal Effects and I added it so it made it look like it was shiny and kind of drippy. And I could have added the drips, but I didn't. And then to carry on the theme, I did the ice cream cone on the inside. Again, I did my cone too close to the left. So keep that in mind. Give yourself space for the ice cream. And then the last card I made today, I wanted to show you that you could change the look of the fun fold. So let me show you this real quick. One more idea for you. All right, where to put my paper cutter? I bought a new paper cutter. My paper cutter has gone to school back and forth several times and it's kind of gotten beat up. So I bought a brand new one and had it at class last week and I let somebody use it. And it was so fun to listen to somebody get so excited about a paper cutter and the cut, just like I do. She was like, oh my gosh, this cut's so nice. Because if you guys are like me, I get those blades to last as long as I can, which is usually too long and then it doesn't cut nice. But I will tell you, I'm really enjoying this brand new blade. And I do have replacement blades for the old one. I was just being frugal or a penny pincher. I'm not sure what I'll call it. All right, so I'm going to start just like I did before. We 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 or by 11, score at 5 1/2. Now I'm going to move the score line up to 2 and I'm going to cut this piece off. Now last time we took this piece and we cut 2 inches off. This time I'm going to leave it whole. And what I did was I took my base and scored it and then burnished it really well so that it closes nicely. Now this time, instead of cutting that piece off, we're going to leave it long. And you could put some designer series paper. I have one pre-cut. Okay, so you could go like this, or you can do it this way. So, of course, you'd have to, with all that designer series paper, there's so many fun things to choose from. So like this. So you could do it this way or this way. So I made one today, and I did it this direction. So on this one, I did the happy birthday. And I love the popsicle because you've got 2 pieces you can go together. There's my drops for my ice cream melting. And then open it up. This saying is from one of the celebrations sets that you can get free. And it says, the bad news is I forgot your birthday. The good news is I forgot your age, which I thought was fun. So anyway, that's 2 of the papers. And so the sweet ice cream set is with the punch. And then, I thought the happy thoughts. Oh, that wasn't on my ice cream set. That was sitting out here for another reason. My goodness, I keep bumping my camera. So approaching perfection. I think these sayings are really cool. And again, this is free with a $50. I just did that one. So what if you're a year older? You're fabulous. If things really do get better with age, then you're approaching perfection. I really like that one. Newsflash, birthdays found to be good for your health. Studies show that people who have more birthdays live the longest. Isn't that true? Then you've got some candles, a balloon, and then this happy birthday I've used several times already. So a fun set that's free with a $50 order. So like I said, I'll be doing a product class with this set. But if you would like a sneak packet of all of these, if you order the sweet ice cream bundle before next Tuesday, I will send you a kit for each one of these cards so that you can make these. So those are the 4 that I've made so far with this. Super easy set to use. Julie, thank you so much for the card layout idea. Hope you guys are staying safe and warm. And thanks so much for joining me early tonight. I appreciate you jumping on, even though I messed up the schedule. I plan to be back at 7 o'clock next week. Thanks so much. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.